Hence, one of the reasons, Landstar has, for the most part, a great score and a great credibility on there, because everybody knows they make the drivers keep up on their maintenance, so they get those bypasses a lot. But I know guys that have been telling me lately they've been having to pull into the scale houses because something jumped off somewhere. Usually what happens, and now they start more randomly pulling in. But even with that being said, the score is good for the amount of drivers they have. Why do I bring that up? 90% of the time I'm bypassing scales. 90% of the time. You know why? One, my scores are great. Two, I can keep up with what I'm doing. It's easier to keep up with 1 or 2 trucks than 1,000. So a lot of variables play into when you come to, as they say, the big boys. A lot of variables play into that. But don't tell me what I'm keeping and what I'm making is not mine, or I'm not keeping all of it. Like I told you guys, I don't have no bills on my equipment. My truck's paid for, my trailer's paid for, all my vehicles at home are paid for. Everything I have is paid for. So, my operating expenses for a month, maybe just tapping around $3,000. And when I say operating, insurance, miscellaneous business operations, low board subscriptions, and business phone. That's it. What? So tell me how, if I make 10 grand a week, how is that? I'm gonna just leave that right there. If I gotta, again, I said this before, if I gotta do check boxes for you guys, I'll play the checkbox game, because it's not about how we get to the number. It's about getting to the number. We all know, most of us that know what we're doing, we know rates. We know how much it's going to cost us to go from one point to one point, or to pick up to go wherever we're going. You're supposed to know that. And if you don't, you shouldn't even be commenting. If you don't even know what it costs you to operate your truck, you sure enough shouldn't even be commenting. Now, if you know those things, you know how to operate your truck, period. It doesn't matter as long as we come up to the number. 1 + 1 is 1. I don't care how you put the 0 in front of the 1 or whatever, it's still going to give you that 1. That's what matters. Everybody's not going to be successful, and I get people telling me all the time, well, this person I know had their own, and they even said, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Because what they say is debatable. Just like what I say is debatable. I'm giving my facts of what's working for me and what I do. In the video, I spoke to what worked for me. I said, there was another thing. I said, I like the fact of not having to answer to nobody, not having no balls. The guy going to say, hey, you say you don't have to answer nobody. Well, the DOT officer, really? We all got to obey the law. But DOT don't tell me how to operate my truck. They tell me how to keep my truck compliant. That's it. They're not telling me when to work, when not to work. And that's the bottom line. Like, I don't have to check box everything, because I'm speaking to people that have generally already know what it is that I'm talking about. And furthermore, Again, comparing the apple to the orange and why I like the orange. If anybody been watching my videos, you guys know QDZ will take a month off and that's it. Checkbox, when I was with Landstar, if I take a certain amount of time off, be it 14 days, they're looking for that trailer. They're like, hey, you know, we know you're off and we're not calling to get you back to work. We just need a driver to see if we can get that trailer from you. And now when I come back to work, I got to call them. Hey, can you guys find me a trailer so I can get back rolling? This is why I like the orange better than the apple. Checkbox. These were the points that I was making. You know, I wasn't trying to discredit no, and I said that in the video. I wasn't trying to discredit nobody. Now, jumping back to people saying that I'm misleading or giving people the wrong impression, yeah, I had to address that because no, I'm not. No, I wasn't. In no shape, way, or form was I giving people the wrong impression or the wrong information. If you want to be your own boss and be under you and not split your money with another carrier, then you have to be on your own. That's the only way to cut that out. That's the truth, period. Now, can you make it? I don't know. You know? Do you know what it takes to make it? Can you do it? Absolutely. But you got to have the right mindset. And see, we got to get out of that mindset of, oh, you don't keep money, because they're calculating every little thing to, well, you know, you got to put 2 cents away for the truck. You got your insurance. You got this. You got that. You pay that once a month. And this is why a lot of guys fail. A lot of people might argue with me with this, but a lot of people fail because they're not changing with the times. They're still trying to operate under old principles as if the rates are like $1 back in the day when fuel, I'm talking about in the 50s, 60s, when fuel was 50 cents a gallon, if that. We're not on those times, you know? And I think I said this in one of the other videos where I'm not sitting there saying, well, I got to put 10 cents away for this. I got to put 2 cents. This goes to, I'm not doing that. I know what my expenses are every month. I ain't got to do that. If I know I'm going out and I make $6 grand this week or $7 grand one week, I know right off the rip, okay, I spent $1,000 in fuel. We're going to say $7 grand for the sake of the video. All right, boom, 1,000 right there. That's $6,000 left over. That ain't rocket science. That ain't rocket science that I'm not splitting. What am I paying taxes on? Okay? Now, if we're going to go there with the taxes, after my deductions and my fuel, my payroll, remember, I'm taxed different. So, and when I say tax different, that's another part. Are you just an LLC or are you S Corp? You know, are you putting all your money in one account? Because if that's the case, all the money gets taxed, period. But if you're paying yourself on a payroll, then that eliminates you being double taxed. And I did a video on this too. So don't tell me what I'm keeping, what I'm not keeping. If you guys understand how to run a business, I don't have to explain this. But it's these people out here that ain't got an inclination on running a business that has all this, well, no, you're misleading. No, I'm not. I'm not holding nobody's hand out here and telling them to don't lease and don't quit a carriers. I've told many guys, lease if you want to lease. I'm not against it. God forbid if anything ever happened and I couldn't make it, I'm going right back to the Star. That's why I left the door open, you know? But I'm going to make it because I know what I'm doing. I made it that far to get to Landstar and made it through Landstar with flying colors. And here we are almost into our a year outside of Landstar, and I'm good because I know what I'm doing. I don't have no doubts about that. but I'm not pushing that on anybody else. I'm not doing that, you know. And people want to know and ask me, I'm going to continue to give that information out. So you guys might not like what I just said, but hey, you know, I mean, I can't satisfy everybody and I can't make everybody happy. You know, I just can't do it, you know, and I don't even want to do it. I just want to give people what they can use, and I'm going to keep giving people what they can use and showing people my experiences on what I'm doing and how I make things work. And that's it, you know. So hopefully this puts this to rest. This is not about comparing, you know, what somebody else doing to what somebody else ain't doing. You know, that whole video was why I liked, why I chose, you know what I'm saying? For me, you know, I knew my numbers. I was giving away $2,500 to $3,000 a week, giving away that a week to Landstar, you see. And I made one year, what was it, 80 something thousand, 86, 87,000. I did a video on it, it's in there somewhere. I talk about it, and I gave away $24,000 to Landstar. So for me, it didn't make sense because I could see the numbers and the way that I run. You know, you guys know when I get out there and I hit it, I hit it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to run like that, I'm not going to, you know, it was for me, that money, just that 1 week, that was more than what my insurance, you know, is some months. Because I have a fluctuating insurance. The more I run, the higher it'll be if I go over a certain amount of mileage, you know, being new. But that's a whole nother video. But it's still around, you know, 18 to 2 grand. And I tell you guys that in multiple videos. I told you guys that. But 1 week, that's 2 grand that I'm giving away. That's the insurance right there. So the rest of the month, 2, 4, if we're gonna say even at 2, let's just say, I know I told you sometimes 25, 3 grand, but just at 2, 4, 6, that's an extra $6,000 that I profit now. So, but I know what I'm doing, you know. It's just, that's how you know when it's time to make a move, when things just don't make sense anymore. You know, I wasn't broke, I wasn't starving at Landstar, I was still making money. It was just that I saw the money I was giving away. It was like, and I literally saw it. The fuel discounts and stuff became irrelevant at that point, because even with my fuel, like I said in my last video, it don't matter about the fuel at this point, because I'm not running as far to make the same amount of money, because I'm keeping most of the money now. So it canceled out that. Now I got my own fuel card and I get my own fuel discounts, and then I'm still looking and finding cheaper fuel, because I find that you go to the mom and pops places, I got an app, I look, I can find the cheapest fuel and I fill up that way. Now I'm good. So hey, you know, it's not for everybody, like I said in the same video. But I'm not gonna sit here and let nobody tell me that it's not worth it for me. You know, you can't tell me that. Is it worth it for anybody else? I don't know. You know, a lot of people can't handle paperwork and wanting to do permits and wanting to deal with IFTA and wanting to, a lot of people can't handle doing, they don't want to do nothing. And I said that in the video too. And that's okay. You know, if they don't want to do that, they'd rather give that money away, because whatever they put value on is what they put value on. But everybody's not cut out to run a trucking business. They're just not. Some people are just made to be drivers and let somebody else handle the back office. You know, for me, it totally wasn't worth it. Not the way that I run, you know, because I was making some bank, you know. So with that being said, go ahead and end this video. It's about 26 minutes now. I didn't expect it to be this long, but it is. I'm gonna go ahead and fall back, watch some movies, man. I gotta pick up, like I said, tomorrow. I'm delivering tomorrow, and then I'm picking up in Indiana, going back into PA. got a load going from picking up Indiana going to PA, $4.60 a mile. Lovely. So I'm putting that's at about like $3,600 and some change on that one. And then when I get to PA, we picking up another load for 35 and some change, going back into Florida. So that's those two loads right there, $7,000. That'll have us at our 30 for the month. And then when I get back, I'll dropping in Florida, picking up in Florida. I mean, actually picking up in South Carolina, going back to Kentucky, then picking up again from Kentucky, going back into Pennsylvania, actually in New Jersey, and I got a book out of there. So we'll hit our 40 mark. But told you guys that too, I think, in the last video that I did. So I'm going to end it right here. And yeah, it's your boy Q Deezy, the Double Easy. Another episode all about semis. How about it, drivers?